champions that scale well and don't have to care about your cage are tough to beat. And so I do think it is going to be Gwen top and Jace jungle. We'll see where they do end up going. And that's kind of my expectation. And for a little bit of poke.
Yep, probably another EQ with the ward still there, so Impact will see him as soon as Inspired enters the river.
Oh, he has 6 now. This could be problematic. The needlework coming out. Flash forward immediately there from Dokla. Impact getting chased down. Is he going to flash? Holding on to it for now. Flash way too late and flash into the needlework. Inspired's going to come back. He's just walking right back, and Dokes is going to try to play dumb and say, oh, I don't know you're here, buddy. And then, surprise, Jace is around, and now you are in trouble. Shock Blast connects. Good cage from Impact. Impact, though, if you just spaced earlier, the wave wouldn't be that bad. Now it's like he's kind of jailed here, so Huhi is coming up to try to support because they know they need to get him this wave. Dokla is out of mana, so as long as Huhi can block the Shock Blast and prevent Inspired from getting in, he should be okay. Dokla does get a level up. Staying around here is going to have the skip and slash. Nice buffer on the combo. Inspired in the area helps to push that in.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that the Maiden is still alive is what's keeping Impact strong in this. If he would have died to that original gank, it would have been huge, but they're going for a fight in the bot lane.
Yeah, Hombok going to get ultied up. He throws the Impale down on multiple members, though, but now he has to flash across the wall as Rahel was not in position to help him. Isles going in. He's trying to finish him off, but Isles, you got no damage, buddy. He's got to flash right back out, as now Isles is going to fall. Isles went on a match. Stay relevant.
Yeah, and I mean, the fact that he lived through that last sequence when Dokla burned his second ultimate against him, got him to about 50 health. But then he stuck around, he greeted the wave, he kind of wasted Inspired's time, he got Huhi to come up.
The Ghouls are tanking up tower shots, and the shovel damage is no joke. You can be farming plates very, very quickly as Dokla now going to be popping the Hallowed Mist, and Inspired is up here once again. The needlework is back, the Shock Blast connect, Impact's on their own, flashes early, but this time it doesn't even matter. Double flash. These situations, right? They don't need to just show up to a Dragon and teamfight to win a game. They know how to win through side lanes and through, you know, slowly bleeding you out, and they've shown that time and time again.
I'd say this is the most committed they've been, though. This is 2 Drakes given over to an early game Skarner here, free farming to Heartsteel. They have the attacks.
An advantage nonetheless. And you know, how Impact will be able to compete in this game is a big question, but a big CC chain coming in onto Isles. He tries to flash back, gets stunned again. Nice binding against the wall, and the Tempered Fate is going to be able to get out to safety, I think, here. Great sidestep. Rahel comes in and knocks him down with the Ghost. Nice moves from Isles to almost get out of there, but at the end of the day, it is the flash, it is the heal, it is the ult, and it is his death going over to the Varus.
And that's because they'd spent so much time around topside. Sentinels had so much control set up bot, he was trying to retake, and that's the danger that you run. Ooh, one needlework connects there, but Berserker's actually ganking.
Berserker is on the hunt, and Impact has nowhere to go. Ganked by the Sivir, that's one you don't see every day.
Oh, that's amazing. While the play was happening bottom lane.
Darkwing's trying to respond on the other side, but where do you send Impact that he's not just going to continue dying? And how is he going to be useful this game really is the question, because the rest of the map is fine. Everything is pretty close, but then you look at the top lane, and that is the real problem. So you have to deal with the Gwen at some point.
First guy to 2 items, though, is actually the Jace with opportunity now completed. That's when you really can start farming the first strike gold, because currently Inspired only gained about 78 gold from that first strike, but I'd say the next EQ he lands could be about half of that value. Still looks strong, so that's where Sentinels needs to try and find a way to set up for this next Drake, but especially with the Gwen moving base TP'd and has the flank.
And he has the Nashers, and Darkwing's just had to flash away from the Tempered Fate, and he is going to get the bad news. Can they CC chain him, though? He has the TP shield, so they don't want to use the Skarner Impale on him. They just have to run away. You don't want to fight into that teleport shield, and they have Impact pushing, so the call here is kind of the reverse of what they've been doing those previous games. They're just going to try to trade for towers, but now Huhi flashes in, but there's no damage there to follow it up. No one was in position. Hombok goes forward. There's the Ishal's impact into the double impale. Rahel trying to get the damage down, but the Hollow Mist is there, and now Hombok is using the Herald to try to get out of dodge. They're buying time for Impact, but at the end of the day, they spent a lot of summoners there. They don't get any kills. They do lose the Dragon. At the very least, they got some gold for Impact.
Impact is getting an entire turret for himself. That is pretty important for the overall game state. And it's Lyon, I think, not wanting to give up soul the way they did in game 1. So rather than really extend the gold lead, they do trade tempo. Can they get him, though? He's got flash.
Back probably overstayed. The needlework is there. You're just getting chased down. You sacrifice the dragon to give him all this gold, and then he overstays so long that they're going to TP in. They're going to try to look for Dokla here. A lot of members from Sentinels are already coming up, but Impact may have gone a little bit too early. Let's find out. The needlework coming out. He's trying to finish him off, but he can't do it. Rahel over the wall, nails the change. Impact. And they're getting him at least to a point where, you know, he can threaten maybe non-Gwen players.
I mean, it's a better problem solved than they had the last game.
He's trying to do that now, but they want to push back in before he can heal back up. Huhi and Darkwings trying to control space on the side, but another Shock Blast does land there on Darkwings. But they got the Dragon, and now you don't need to force. You can just back it out with some of this damage already being thrown down on a Darkwings and Rahel. Very, very difficult to get past that Anivia. But if you ever get a moment where you can get past the Anivia, there is so much damage, and Isles now is out of the right spot, man. He's going to be able to flash over the wall. Looks like he can just walk out for now. Does throw down the Temper Fate, but the Chains of Corruption does connect as well onto Isles, and Isles will be going down, and it's Darkwings that claims it. Isles going to have to take the magical journey back to safety as a result. They're going to be realm morphing in onto Impact. Impact in some trouble, takes the Shock Blast. Saint going to try to run him down, but Impact just cages him up and is backing off. Keep running, and he should be okay, but the Ghost is closing the gap. Sentinels are going to try to start Baron on the other side. Now the Rune Prison comes back up, but the Maw Shield will keep him safe. Dokla has used the Hallowed Mist, now going to get walled off there. Has to use a Skip and Slash, but he's hit down to half HP. The Tempered Fate will buy some time, but Inspired is still pretty far away. He is running for it, though. Impact's going to teleport in to join. He has the ultimate back up. It is getting low. It looks like they're going to commit to it. Inspired is pretty low. They're going to try to finish. They do secure the Baron, but can they win the fight? The Unbreakable Will has been popped by Huhi as Isles is trying to go for it. Hit by the Chains of Corruption. The Hallowed Mist comes back up, and Sage is on a flank. Surprise from the bush there. Darkwings gets put low. Berserker is trying to hit, but he is knocked down. He's slowed up. Impact and Hombach are running him down. The Sivir is flashing for safety here, trying to survive. Inspired wants to stay around because they are so low on health, but all of Sentinel survives, and they get... The Golden Glue cams are always great, man. I'm telling you, just ignore the meta, pick Huhi and engage champ. Darkwings is going to get Tempered Fate, but the damage onto Isles is massive. Isles will fall to Darkwings. Dokla's into the backline, though. Rahel could be in some trouble. The CC thrown down onto Dokla. Dokla's going to run. Hombach CCing them up on the other side. Satan is incredibly low, and Satan has fallen, but Dokla is going crazy. It's Dokla versus Impact. It's Hombach really low, and it's going to be Darkwings egged up, and Dokla falling. Impact
with teleport up will likely base TP and secure this soul.
Darkwings is playing these fights out so well. You know, he really is controlling space. Their gold is very, very close, but you have the Baron, you have the soul, and you have what seems like a massive... Where it feels like Sentinels are winning, Sentinels winning, and then you make that mistake, they close the gap. And if Berserker is hitting, if Dokla is hitting, if Saint is hitting all at the same time, your team will get exploded. So that is what they have to watch out for. But Hombach...
Well, okay, they're teleporting in.
So they're going to try to look for it here. Can they get past Darkwing? Saint already taking some damage to start the fight off. He just throws down the wall early. They're trying to rush this, but the Tempered Fate will buy a little bit of time. Ghost pop there by Saint. Inspired can't find an angle. He is very far away from this. They're going to look to finish, but if Darkwing's in trouble, he has to go into the stasis. I don't know if he has his passive back. Dokla trying to finish off Rahel. Dokla's getting into the backline. Darkwings is incredibly low, and he's put into the egg. Berserker is DPSing, and look at Inspired. He's behind Rahel. He knocks him back. Isles is going forward, but he is falling. Dokla is cutting through the team. Impact flashes out. He's still alive. Hombach, Huhi, and Impact make it happen. It's a quadra for the Skarner. Captain Flowers is popping off.
The Anivia and egg him early, and Berserker flashes through to kill Rahel. It's still not enough. Big death timers there for Inspired and Saint still, and it looks like Sentinels is sending us to game 4.
Yeah, the Yorick is going to crush through these towers. Isles is back, but it's 10 seconds until anyone else is respawning. They're just going to ignore him, focusing down these towers. Sentinels will not get swept. They battle back here with such an impressive game in game number 3.